Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Bruce, and I am so excited about today. Why? Just because I have a chance to share and to enjoy so many wonderful people out there that we can talk to and perhaps maybe even share some insights in ways to be a blessing to your life. And I am so excited today to have with me one of my dear, dear friends, woman of God. She is all over the place, just loving the Lord and loving other people. I love her spirit. I love her smile. She's a beautiful lady, and that's D'Angela. And D'Angela is here to give us some of her insights. This is D'Angela Sanders, and our topic today is really healthy living, and the pandemic bounce back. Healthy living and the pandemic bounce back. And we're excited because we've all survived the pandemic. We've been affected, and some have been infected, some have been redirected, all because of the pandemic. So we're still thriving, we're still going forth. And so, D'Angela, how you been doing?
First, Bishop, hello. How are you? It is so good to
Fantastic.
see you.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful seeing you as well. Um, you are in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
And, so tell me how your life's been going since we talked last. So we just got to get caught up a little bit, a little
I
bit.
probably moved to two different states.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone from California to Oregon, from Oregon to Kentucky, from Kentucky to Georgia. And it's been a great faith walk. It's been a great journey.
Beautiful. And I've seen you grow. I've seen
Thank
you
you.
improve in the way you live your life and the people you have influenced. So wow, it's great. And I'm excited about you and the things that God is doing in your life and just your personal journey. Uh, Tell us a little bit how you have basically kind of survived the pandemic and how it's affected your life so far.
The pandemic has affected, it's affected all of us in different ways. And so for me, thankfully, I was promoted to a job to where I was able to work from home and right before the pandemic happened. But the difference is that I had moved in with one of my daughters just for a little while because I wanted to go to Rome
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to be able to afford to go to Rome, and my lease was up. So I had only planned on staying there for a couple of months. But when the pandemic hit, I was there for over a year because it allowed me to be able to babysit for my daughter while she was able to work. And so that opened up the door for her to stay employed, but it added stress for me.
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning, I knew friends who had caught the virus and friends who had been hospitalized, and some made it and some didn't. And it completely made me rethink everything that I was doing in life. And I knew that people had started to gain weight, and I had gained a little bit of weight, and I didn't want to maintain that. I didn't want to stay that way. I didn't want my life to stay on the same path that it
Mm-hmm.
currently was on. So I had to make some changes.
Oh, good. Well, there was a survey that was conducted by Weight Watchers, and they said that the average American gained an average of 12 and a half pounds
Hmm.
during this pandemic. And so that just says that, in many ways, we've been affected. Some people
Yes.
it's just stressful eating, just because they're home, they just eating, 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 and
Yes.
you know, and watching TV and eating, 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 and watching TV and walking a little bit, doing things. So we've all had to make some adjustments. We're all talking about healthy living and the pandemic bounce back. We have to bounce back from that, and so everybody's been affected. So what's been your way of basically dealing with the weight gain and the eating during the pandemic? What have you done different?
Well, first, I knew that with my weight gain, my mental was affected. So I didn't want to go into depression, but I knew that I was like, okay, I'm not outside enough because, as you know, Bishop, I'm a people person and I like to go and I like to be around people. And so I was in this place where I was inside more hours in a day
Mm-hmm.
than I had ever been in life. And so I decided to start walking. And as I started walking, and it was hard
Mm-hmm.
because number one, there were, it was hills that I had to go up. So I had
Wow.
to pump
Okay.
myself up and say, okay, you can do this. So I started off with short increments. I started off 10 to 15 minutes. And then I started applauding myself after I reached that goal for a little while consistently.
Okay.
And then I said, okay, I'll do this twice a week. And then I was like, no, you're going to up the ante 3 times a week. And I said, no, you're going to up the ante. And sometimes I would walk like 7 days a week. And then I would push myself, okay, you can go another 2 blocks because it
Wow.
was just around the neighborhood. You can go another 3 blocks. Okay, how about you go a fourth block? So I kept pushing myself until I reached that hour. And once I reached that hour, I pushed myself to go a little further. And I didn't even realize it. My neighbors did that I had already started losing weight doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And they started applauding me. And I remember walking up and I was tired. I was like, oh, and my neighbor said, "Are you tired?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Good, keep going."
All right. Wow,
and
that's
and I
good.
was excited about that. So at that point, I still hadn't realized that I, had started to lose weight with it. I was just determined to feel better, and I was just determined to get healthier. And I also cut out sodas because
You
sugary
cut out
drinks,
the sodas.
sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, and I know you love some
Sodas,
soda. Hmm.
sugary drinks.
Uh-huh.
No, thank
Okay.
you.
All right. All of that. I wound up getting a treadmill and put it in my garage. So
Yes.
the treadmill really helped me a lot, especially on days where maybe it was either too rainy or cold or what have you.
Mhm.
So that really helped make a difference. And so that was good to get on the treadmill, and plus walking up down the stairs, that
Yes.
really helps to burn a lot of calories that way and just build up the heart rate and things like that.
Mhm.
So that was really powerful. And so we're challenging people out there to do something about
Yes.
this healthy, make it healthy weight loss during this time of the pandemic. And what are some strategies that you have employed to help you in your overall health?
I have my handy dandy Fitbit that I love oh so much.
Okay, good.
And so I on my Fitbit, I have a number of days that I have to exercise every week. And it will remind me like, hey, you haven't exercised, you haven't moved this hour. So I utilize that. I am also on teams to where I compete with other people. So I have to move my body. Because one thing that I do know is I started watching people who are millionaires and they run. So my goal is to become a runner. And I know that when you walk and when you run, you free your mind so you're able
Mhm.
to think clearer. And I want to have better thoughts. I want to be able to do more things with my life. And other things are, the plate of food that I used to eat, the large plate of food that I used to eat
Big,
is smaller. And
okay,
my
you gotta shrink it
portions,
down. Okay.
yes, my portions are
Ah,
smaller. And you're right, you need accountability partners. There were always people in my
mhm.
corner who knew. It was a very select few people, but they
Right.
knew what I was trying to achieve so that if I tried to slide off of my plan, they would say, "No, girl, you have to do this. I'm rooting for you."
So how many days are you doing that?
Exercising
Uh-huh.
or doing everything. So the lifestyle changes every day.
It's every day.
It's every
All
day
right. Okay.
because, if you're not consistent,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to say, okay, I just won't do it this day. So it's every
Mm-hmm.
day.
Okay. One of the things that uh, has encouraged me to continue to go forth and do positive things as far as better eating. See, for me, and my wife has to help me. I love them sweets. I
Yes.
love,
Yeah.
I love them sweets. Oh my goodness. So she had to help her brother. She had to help her brother. No sweets, no sweets during the week. None. I get maybe like one, I get a weekend cheat time, a little bit on the weekend, but during the week, no sweets. Okay.
Thank you,
That's
Philip.
so
Yeah, no sweets.
hmm
I don't even I think I even took away my cheat days because my cheat days became days to be gluttony. And
Ah,
so
beautiful.
um, until I was able to fix that, I had
Right.
to change things. Because here's the thing: people kept saying that I should have had the surgery. I should have had weight loss surgery. Go ahead and have weight loss surgery. But for me, if I didn't change my mindset, then weight loss surgery wasn't going to do anything because I am a lover of food. It is
Hmm.
beautiful to me. And
Okay.
so so if my mindset hadn't changed, then there was no point because I was just going to gain the weight back after I go through being cut and all of that pain and
Look.
going through healing. I'm going
Uh-huh.
to gain the weight back. So I decided to change my thought
Mm.
first. And now I
Change
don't need the
thought.
weight loss surgery
Okay.
because my thoughts were followed by my actions.
Oh, good. And you know, oh, I'm just writing this down. Mhm. And so you're saying the right thoughts affect your actions about food, even about food.
About food and everything, about everything that you do,
Fantastic,
ministry.
fantastic.
If you're going to do whatever it is that you're going to do, if you don't have the right
Hmm.
mindset, your action doesn't match it.
Hmm. Hmm. That's powerful. And in fact, as a therapist, I'm getting more and more clients that have had problems dealing with depression and anxiety during the pandemic. In fact, the Center for Disease Control in their survey found out that 40% of Americans were affected somehow, either by depression or anxiety during
Hmm.
this time of the pandemic, and 31% out of those had some serious issues. Whereas
Yes.
up to 13% of the people that they talked to said they contemplated suicide
Mm. I believe
because
that.
feeling so deprived or restricted and not knowing what's going to happen next really
Yeah.
created a real sense of insecurity. And so even in those situations, what would you recommend for people that are feeling really down and frustrated and a sense of hopelessness during this time of pandemic? What would you?
Uh, you have to make connections with people. I thank God for FaceTime and Duo and Zoom.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes I say I'm all zoomed out,
Mm.
but
Okay.
just being able to interact with people, being able to see faces, being able to hear their expressions does a lot for your
Right.
psyche. And so, I started praying for people who lived alone because I realized how alone you really are. I'm
Oh
one
yeah.
person that I don't mind being in my own company, but it took a while for me to get there. I had to accept who I was, and there was an entire mental thing that I had to go through for that. So, my suggestion is to get a circle of people that you can depend on and you can call at the drop of a hat and let them know this is how I'm feeling, and this is where I need help, and this is where I need that push so that you are not alone. That's the most important thing to know is that no matter what we're going through during this day and age, you are not alone. There is someone there willing to
Not
be there with
alone.
you.
That is so important. It's so powerful that people stay connected during this pandemic. And
Yes.
those you out there that you have these people on your social media, so why not communicate with them and ask them how they're feeling and pray for them? I think people should use their social media for ministry more than
Yes.
ever. Praying for people and encouraging them, chatting about what they've done to make their life better, uh, having some times where they can do some virtual trips with each other,
Yes.
virtual trips where you can go on little trips with each other uh, to various places, various lands, and talk about those experiences, even places you've been, places you're going. All right,
Mhm.
and using films and cutouts and images and sharing your screen. You can do so many wonderful things through social media and even sharing recipes.
Yes. Oh, I just talked about that with someone last night. I
Hmm.
have learned to cook again. And I
Okay.
was just talking to my pastor and she said it. She said, "You need to post your recipes." She said, "Because they came out
Mhm.
really, really well.
Right.
And they
Right.
looked good." So, and they were, healthy because you cook them at home. When you make food at home, you're dealing with less sodium. You're dealing with, you pick the ingredients
Mm-hmm.
and,
Good.
fun. Let's make cooking fun.
All
Why
right.
not?
Yes, yes, yes.
And like
And
you said,
yeah, that's
sorry,
good. Keep doing that.
like you said, I wanted to see water because, I'm from Long Beach, so I'm accustomed to seeing water. And when you move places where you don't see water often, you want to see it. And so I drove 30 minutes to Roswell to go see a small waterfall. But then I went and we recorded a video. Why? Because I can take people with me.
Wow, that's good.
So if you post your videos, if you've gone somewhere and you're alone or whatnot, and you post your video, you can take someone with you and they can feel like they've left their home.
That's beautiful, beautiful. Philip, you're out there. Philip, man, I haven't seen you in ages. Okay, and yeah, I still remember you, and so it's good to have you coming in on Facebook, and we praise God for you. And so and I see Ashley out there. I mean, let's face it, we miss the human interaction. We miss each other.
Yes.
We miss the hugs and the kisses
Yes.
and all of that. And see, I think when this pandemic is over, we just gonna get squeezed out. We just gonna people have been hugging me, You're just gonna get squeezed out. Yes, because we love the physical interaction, but people need the emotional support as well.
Yes.
So we should offer as much emotional support and input in people's lives because, yes, people have lost jobs. Some have lost relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Some have lost valuable people in their lives. And we have to do everything we can to make sure that we can fill those voids in their lives.
Yes.
So many. In fact, I saw something on the news line this morning where in one was a mortuary, they had 65 caskets in the mortuary. There was filling. They had to remove that to take out seats in the mortuary to put the caskets.
Wow.
And so, yes, we're living in these really hard times, and yet we need to prepare ourselves to bounce back. We will come out of this. We will come through this, but we're going to have to come through with a different attitude, with a greater intensity to serve God and to serve other people, to love other people.
That's good. Yes, I agree.
Yes. Okay. Oh, we got Dinah Davidson out there too. Dinah, God bless you. Dinah and Crystal Brown. All right. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that they appreciate the connection with the people that they've always loved and spend a part in their lives. So what do you do with boredom? People they're just bored. How do you help people those of you out there that may seem to get bored every now and then? What are you all doing? You can put that in the chat as well. How do you deal with boredom?
That's a good question. So for me, because I don't mind spending time with myself, it's not really that difficult. I'll watch a comedy movie. I'll read a book. I'll read the word. I'll pray. I'll go for a walk. I'll go for a drive. I will literally this year I committed to randomly texting people that I hadn't talked to in a while just to check on them and see how they're doing. And that opens up the door for conversations. And Philip just said, virtual tours. I've done virtual tours.
Beautiful.
Those are good as well.
Hey, that's beautiful.
And I'll find some places or I'll Google some things. And Maria, yes, play your Barbies, girl, make dresses. I'll Google some things just to learn something else, or to see like, okay,
yeah, that's good.
The other day I heard that there's a place out here called Stone Mountain, so I Googled it to see what they offer.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I need to know if I can go, if it's social distance or, am I waiting until they open? I just want to explore.
Mm-hmm.
So
you learn so much.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. So we need to expand our world a little bit because we've been
Yes.
We need to get out, and we can get out virtually. And then also you get a chance to talk to some really interesting people like Maria and like LaShawn, interesting people that are always full of life. And I just love having people in my life that they bring joy to you. They bring joy to your
Yes,
life. And so even having Dana with us, Dana is a jewel. Dana is a
she
jewel.
is.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. And so so Ashley says she's up to work on her business and call a friend or a family, go for a drive. Okay. And so, right. So it's important for us to do some things that bring meaning to our lives. And those are, what do you recommend for those people that are home alone?
Find people who have joy. I was just going to say that right before you said it.
Mm-hmm.
Find people who have joy in their lives, because or find something that you enjoy doing. It's a great time to find a hobby, to figure out what it is that you like to do. Because remember, before the pandemic hit, we were in this rat race called life. And so we were so busy that we couldn't take care of us. We were so busy that we couldn't even think straight. We just knew we had to go from point A to point B to point C. But since this slowdown has happened, it is a great
Mm-hmm.
time to remember your dreams, go after them.
Beautiful.
It is a great time to figure out what it is that you like to do, you enjoy doing, and get into it.
Okay. Well, one person showed me they have a coloring book for adults.
Mm-hmm.
They have a coloring book, and they were coloring by the numbers, and and it looked really nice. So I want you all to
got
post.
one.
You got one?
I do.
Good. I want some other people to post some of your ideas as far as what people can do at home to keep themselves, excited about life and enthused and encouraged. Put some of your posts in there, okay? And so that's wonderful.
Yeah, the Dollar Tree is a great resource. So they now have paint. They now have, things that you can do yourself, and you can buy small canvases and paintbrushes at the Dollar Tree, and trace something on it and paint it yourself.
Okay, good.
You just got to think outside of the box and use your imagination.
That's it. And so I think it's important for us to get ideas from other people and incorporate those ideas.
Yes.
All right. And so, what can you tell us something personal about what you've done and how much weight you've lost over the past couple of months or so? Just kind of tell us something. Tell us something.
You don't mention a woman's weight.
How much you lost?
I've lost 55 pounds.
Woo! Hallelujah. That is phenomenal. 55. That is incredible. You look good too.
Thank
and that's
you.
Beautiful. And so, and I'm sure that is an encouragement to somebody else. Yes. Somebody else is probably figuring, how can I lose some weight? And, and I have some challenges as well that I want to be able to accomplish. And so that's a blessing. It's a blessing. I saw Philip, he said, work on spiritual development, spend time with family, work on home projects. All right. And so maybe there's some things at home that you want to improve on. I plan on starting my garden pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. See, I miss California because it's gardening time in California and you can put the seeds out. So now that I'm in Atlanta, I have to wait a little bit before I can still garden. I think he mentioned on the news this morning that I can wait until after Easter. So I'm going to go ahead and plant it and get everything that I need so I can get my seeds in the ground because, in California, you have a longer gardening, and gardening is really, really relaxing.
It's very relaxing.
It is so relaxing. It's meditation.
It is. It really does. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting time for me to be able to have I have a lot of space and I want to plant some greens and some artichokes, some leeks.
You're going for the good stuff.
Oh yes, and some tomatoes. I mean, I want to try to get as much into a plant-based diet as possible.
Oh, that's good.
That's my goal. I want to get a plant-based diet and really just be able to improve my overall digestion and my eating altogether.
And don't forget water.
Oh my goodness.
Water is so
Water, water,
important.
water. I got my water jug, you know.
Have to
LaShawn and Maddie
refill.
got this for me. And so
Nice.
it's made a difference. And yes, we're definitely drinking more water. Um, and so it's really just been a blessing to us to be able to do all of the things that makes us help us live a little longer. I want to be around here as long as I need to be.
Yes. You know, Bishop, one thing that I just remembered that I also do living alone is I dance. So I'll turn the music up and I'll crank it and I'll just dance and party like everybody's here with me.
Okay.
I laugh at myself. I have a ball
Good.
because it makes me happy. You have to realize what makes you happy and go
That's
for it.
right. And brighten up your house. Just keep it bright.
Yes.
You know, keep things bright and alive. Lots of plants is important. We're trying to keep some plants around here. And we're not really necessarily the green thumb, but we try to do our very best
Right.
to keep things green and alive. Do you have any other recommendations for our guests that are out there, our family that are watching, in terms of how we can stay functional during this pandemic and make a difference?
Just make sure you stay connected. Connection is key. The reason being is
Mhm.
because, again, we talked about spirituality, and the devil would
Uh-huh.
love to get you alone and make you think thoughts that are not even real. So staying connected, staying in your word, but know what you want to do and know what your boundaries are.
Mhm.
Relearn you. Who are you?
Uh,
Relearn you.
okay. Good, good. And we encourage everyone out there to ask us any questions that you might have. You can inbox me,
Mhm.
and especially if there's other topics that you want to talk about when we're doing the On the Couch program, because we really want to be able to address situations that people are facing in their everyday life. And so this is a good opportunity for us to stay connected with other people. That was one main reason why I wanted to do this program, and having people like yourself, D'Angela, because you're people that I love.
I
Okay, you
love
got
you,
to know that you
Bishop.
are people that I love, and I'm so glad to have you with us today. Do you have any final comments you want to leave with everyone, or something that the Lord has placed on your heart?
I just want you to know that I love you dearly. I've always told you that I love you, but I haven't said it enough lately. And I appreciate everything that you've taught me biblically, naturally. I appreciate you being the man of God that you are. I appreciate you being the natural man that you are, because you were always honest with me when I was under your leadership. But not just that, you've always been my spiritual father. And I greatly love you and Pastor Karen. I appreciate you. I appreciate you trusting me and pushing me to take the leap to
Yes, yes,
go.
yes.
And many people don't have leaders like that or pastors like that will push them. We love you too, Maria, and to take that leap and to just go for it.
Beautiful.
And it hasn't been an easy journey all the way through, but it has been worth it. And I
Beautiful.
am so grateful. I am so grateful for it. I'm grateful for the people that I've met. I'm grateful for the experiences. And I'm
Mm,
grateful that, God has taught me who he really is. But I learned first under your leadership.
bless you. Well, it's been my great, great privilege to be able to plant some seeds into your life and to see them grow, see those seeds grow as you continue to mature in the Lord and sow into other people's lives, because that's one of the strengths of who you are. You are a giver. And I see you give so much to other people, and one thing about you that probably maybe you didn't know is that, and then maybe you do, you got a lot of common sense. Okay.
Thank you.
You got a lot of common sense, and that common sense can really make a tremendous difference in people's lives, because
Amen.
people are making decisions all the time, and they may throw an idea or something by you, and you're the person that I know that will always give them what God has given you to make good choices in their lives. And right now,
Amen.
yes, during this time, everybody needs to make good choices. So find out, and I'm mentioning this to everybody, who is in your life that can always tell you what you need to hear? You need to
Amen.
have people like that, especially during these difficult times. You got to make good choices. You got to have good people in your life. And so I want to encourage those of you out there to continue to fellowship, continue to love the people that God has placed in your life. In fact, just love the people that love you and
Yes.
love them well. Love them well, and God will send you other people to love. And so, Philip, I see Philip and Beatrice out there. Y'all
Love
need to
you
know
all.
we love you guys. And so this is important. And my great joy is also being able to know that I have said something maybe along the way that has encouraged somebody to continue to go forth and to be your best self. Be your
Yes.
best self. That's the key. Don't try to be like nobody else. Just be your best self and watch the Lord do something great with you. And I'm believing that today. God's going to do something great with us. Isn't that
Amen.
right? I want the Lord to say, well, you did what I told you to do.
Yes. Well
You know?
done.
Yes, that's right. In fact, I find out that people do their best work when they're under some kind of pressure. Would you agree?
Yes.
Would you
I
agree with that?
agree. I agree. I actually had a conversation with God because I was really unhappy with something that was going on. And I had to take a step back and I said, Lord, I know this is you pushing me. I don't like it right now, but I know that this is you pushing me. And it did.
Right,
And it
right.
pushed me to go forth, you know. And I still remember when I was pushing you to write, I think it was your third book. And that's what's happening for me now, is pushing me to
Mm,
write my book. And so and I wasn't happy because I was being lazy. So I had
right.
to get out of lazy mode, and God pushed me out of lazy mode because I wouldn't do it myself.
Okay. One thing that my uh, spiritual father, Apostle Weeks, Apostle Thomas Wesley Weeks in Wilmington, Delaware. I was whining and crying about, finishing my first book because I wasn't making no progress.
Mm-hmm.
And he flew all the way from Wilmington, Delaware to meet me for lunch, and I'll never forget that.
I remember.
Yeah. And right. And one of the things he told me, I have to want to share this with everybody else. He said, one thing he said, you will do what you commit to.
Wow. Thank
You
you.
will do what you commit to. And you know what? When he told me that, it just sort of lit a flame in me. And I was able
Thank
to
you.
finish the book in about 3 weeks. I finished it in about 3 weeks. That set me on fire. So you will do what you
You will
commit
do
to.
what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Let me write that down.
Yeah. And we can't have 4 and 5 things on our plate at one time. But whatever that thing you commit to, get that done. Get that done. That one thing that you commit to. So I honor Apostle Weeks for the great example he's been in my life. And I want to thank you, D'Angela, for joining us today. And we
Thank you
appreciate
for
those of you
having
that
me.
joined us. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure having you today. And I want everybody out there to be encouraged and to continue on this journey through this pandemic and bounce back from whatever's been trying to hold you back so that you can be your best self. All right?
We will
God
make
bless
it.
you all. All right. Have a wonderful day, everybody. We love you. Take care.